Welcome back to Through the Mill, a live play D&D series from Dying of Exposure. My name is Steve. I am the game mommy of this wonderful posse of players I have before me. Through the Mill is an actual play D&D homebrew 5th edition Western Plains Desert Fantasy RPG that is come up from my mind. And I will introduce our wonderful posse. We're going to start off. Greg, why don't you introduce your character name and race?
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm playing Skataki Skato. He's a bugbear ranger.
And Camille, why don't you introduce yours?
I'm Camille, and I play Patience Pratt, a tiefling.
Selene?
I am Selene, and I play Star, a tabaxi.
Josh?
I'm Josh. I play Trapper Bramblepelt, who is an 8-foot-tall anthropogenic coyote druid.
Danathan?
Like you do.
You know.
I'm Daniel. I'm playing a Krav, Dragonborn Paladin.
And finally, the Unabomber there in the distance.
My name is Brandon, and I play Barosh, a.k.a. Barry, the half-orc barbarian.
All right. So this is the posse of players.
What is the other half, by the way?
The other half of the
Just unspecified? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, half human.
Half human.
Is it just like half sour? Oh, okay.
Normal half. They're absolutely
Lemonade.
To your
There's like a half sandwich. There's only half of me. I'm all right. Man.
I like Celine's idea. It's half lemonade. That lemonade stand is extremely important. in this
God damn, the lemonade stand is never going to go away, is it?
I've still got 3 lemons.
Choosy citrus is the only citrus.
Last time we had our posse.
Choosy moms choose choosy.
Our eclectic posse last time was in their first combat. They ran across a group of bandits. They discussed in-depth a strategy on how they were going to approach those bandits, which did end up preventing them from getting burnt alive by a particularly strong, if low, hit point, if low, low statted, if you will, mage. However,
was that who was peeing?
They managed to tie up the peeing bandit, and tie up a last bandit after having killed all the rest in brutal fashion. I believe
conquered the peeing bandit. Finally,
I believe Barry actually like dispersed bandit by just like completely wrecking them.
I cut him in the part of the human body that caused him to explode.
Yeah, it was very good. It was very good. And so now we are back. We found some items, some things that weren't described by Bill Buxley, the carnival barker that sent you on this mission to go recover their items. And we have a good idea on why that harp was so very important to him, and why he was willing to pay top dollar for a group of hirelings to go fetch it. So we find ourselves back at the makeshift bandit camp. You have 2 tied-up bandits. You have been playing around with these little magical doodads and things like that. And you are now. What are you doing? What are you doing? You've kind of discovered what they all did last episode. So what are you doing? To a degree.
Oh crap! That combat was so amazing. You almost took that dude's head off with your mace.
I'm definitely juggling with the pins. I'm doing some wild shit because no matter how far sideways I throw it, it catches and I look dope.
So, should we probably...
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, should we probably take this stuff back to town and get our money?
I also want to look through all the dead guys' belongings on their bodies.
The dead guys have...
we already did that.
Yeah. You all announced that in the last session. The dead guys had some copper and silver on them. I distributed that to your characters appropriately. because you all kind of rifled through bodies and everything like that.
Patience did not rifle through bodies.
Patience didn't.
No,
Patience,
but it did happen.
Yeah.
Skitaki rifles through bodies on Patient's behalf.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah, and so
You can have your blood money.
they didn't have a lot on them as far as significant amounts of any kind of coinage, and all of the weapons they were using. From a judgment from any of the number of you that could easily eyeball a weapon and be like, is this decent or not? All of the weapons they were using were relatively poor. The crossbows and the short swords they were using were nothing to shake a stick at. Skitaki, can you roll an Arcana check since Patience isn't rifling through bodies?
I mean, I can. I'm capable of doing it. I don't think it's going to go well. I got to bring up... Yeah, -1. All right. It's going to go well.
Hot stuff. Good stuff.
I'm optimistic.
Classic Greg roll. Classic.
My dice don't.
Oh, shit.
Even with the -1, 15. I'll take it.
All right.
15. I'll take it. All right. 15.
Whoa.
All right.
Whoa.
Somebody needs to mute something.
I think someone had the stream open.
Yeah. Nonetheless.
That was fun.
So what we have is Skitaki doesn't find anything particularly unique on the sorceress that was casting spells with a 15 Arcana check. So now you're at the discussion, and I believe Patience announced thinking maybe taking this stuff back and getting their money back. So yeah.
I mean, are we going to take all of it back? Because I mean, very reasonably, we could have seen a few of these things destroyed in the fire, or you know.
Well, I also don't think everything here is theirs, so probably only the things that they mentioned.
This is a reasonable assumption.
Pretty obvious that they're theirs.
I like the way you think, Patience.
Yeah, I feel like that's the main question: is are we bringing those back? I at least what I have, I'm holding. I'm not planning on giving up.
I would love to keep these juggling pins.
I think we should just return the items that they said we should. I say as I play around with the item that makes me grow different facial hair.
That seemed to be
obviously
the precise task we were hired for.
If we were going to keep anything, it should be that. But I think we made
I'm going to twirl my handlebar mustache.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
honor
mammals.
our end and keep everything else.
I like that. Bill seems like the kind of fellow who would be very apt to take advantage of precision or lack thereof in a deal. So
my question is, do we want to drop off these tied up bandits with the local constable, or do we want to give them to the circus and let them have their way with them?
I think they probably should go to the constable.
The constable.
So you want to drag their bodies in?
No, we have 2 alive ones. We have 2 live ones tied up.
Yeah. I like avoiding constables personally.
And we have a wagon, right?
Yeah, we can just throw them in the wagon.
Yeah.
I mean, I
All right,
figure
hold
Bill
on.
can
So,
probably
and like, Patience takes out a
figure
piece
that
of paper. She's like, all right, this is what we have, and this is what we know that they want. So I've got this singing frog, and she just like puts the frog up. I do not want this singing frog. And this weird spinning ball, which I do want, and they did not mention. And so she puts that on the other pile.
That thing is dope.
We do want the beard ring. So I'll put that on this side of
Definitely
the
want the
chart.
beard ring as I change into a Colonel Sandy.
So let's see. The harp they want.
You know so much about beards.
I'm a lizard. I have beard and...
I was literally about to say the same thing.
So all right. Don't want no frog. Yes, spinning ball. Yes, ring. Then there's the harp, which we should give back because they definitely asked for that specifically, and it is very obviously theirs. So harp goes back to them.
I mean, I don't want to start being selfish, but if no one else wants that frog, I would love to have it.
All right. Let's see. What else? What else has you guys got?
I'm not taking the boots off. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
we got them bouncy boots.
you got the
boots. The boots stay on during combat.
Okay.
I got some magical berries.
Magical berries.
Yeah. I mean, we're not gonna figure out what they do until we eat one.
Oh, the acorn.
Yeah, the acorn.
Yeah. Acorn's a berry.
Oh, they didn't ask for. Is it?
No.
Okay. All right. So the acorn is ours.
Character, right? That wasn't in character dialogue.
Was that in character?
It's so hard to tell.
That was in character dialogue. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, excellent.
Okay. Druid. Weird berries.
Hey, mommy, I think we need some intervention. We just want to figure out what stuff they've told us about.
So
that they told us.
They mentioned they mentioned they mentioned a handful of kind of basic carnival supplies, and then the only thing they specifically mentioned by name, Bill mentioned the harp. Everything else wasn't mentioned because he was including it in the concept of some of our stuff. Oh, they also mentioned the dress.
Jiggling pits, right?
No, the dress.
The dress that I have.
Oh, I thought it was like a strongman's like singlet. I was wondering why we didn't find it. It's because it's the dress.
It's the dress. It's the strongman's outfit. And so far, it on Krav, when Krav put it on, it looked more like a large tunic, like a leather tunic, almost like a Roman kind of thing. But it was a dress when it was.
Oh, I thought it just looked great.
It did look great.
It does look great.
Krav.
Okay, so that should probably go back to them.
I just wanted to get that because we don't need to spend too much time figuring out what we're taking and what we're not. If we can just have him be like, okay, these are the things that they specifically mentioned.
Yeah.
We can make sure we return
so
those.
They mentioned that they did mention juggling pins, but they mentioned it as the batch of general supplies that they'd been taking, some of the specific stuff that some of their performers use and some other things from the carnival. But
damn shame we didn't find those, man.
And I'm sure that there's a bunch of other stuff in the cart that's just miscellaneous circus stuff too.
I was going to ask what else they had in there, just from prior runs or their own things.
They don't have anything that doesn't look like it couldn't have been at that carnival. They do have like a couple things that might be like their own bedrolls, but that's it.
No, and they had horses pulling these things, right?
They had 2 mules.
Two mules. Okay.
Did they have any alfalfa for the horses?
No.
Or is it just straw?
No, just straw.
Okay.
So I say we take all this stuff back into town, drop off these 2 suckers with the constable, pawn off the mules, split this gold from the mules, and then return the stuff to the.
I'm into it.
I'm with that.
So could I make an alternative suggestion, or at least partially alternative?
What's that?
Mm-hmm.
So we know some of these things have value to us. Apparently, very fond of those shoes. And the ring that gives us a mustachio. Beyond that, most of this is meaningless. I say we throw it in the cart, we throw the brigands on top, we drive back to the constable and we say, we hear there's a reward, and see what the town does from there.
Well, it's not the town, it's the circus.
The circus is the one who hired us specifically.
Yeah,
the town's probably just gonna get us money for a bounty on some criminals that we got, but they probably don't care about the stolen goods.
Yeah, I'm not exactly trying to raise my profile with the local authorities, if you know what I mean.
Same.
So Greg's confused. I thought there was more than just stolen from the carny. Is that
Potentially,
accurate?
yeah.
They said they'd like been stealing,
Yeah.
The bandits mentioned that we haven't found anything.
but that was about the size of it.
Yeah. As far as
That's what I was saying.
your group knows, as far as the posse knows, the only things that they only know what Bill told them about the thieves. It also, again, doesn't look like in the wagon there is anything that couldn't have been easily found at the carnival, nor does it look like there's a lot of like personal stuff like photos or jewelry that isn't like super costume carnival jewelry. It's obviously fake, fake painted wood and things like that.
Yeah, why don't we swing by, why don't we swing by town, see what we can fence before we get there so we're not carrying all the shit.
Hey, I mean, it's not cool to just give, like, I mean, I'm okay with taking a few trinkets, but fencing all their shit, I mean, they're hiring us for a job.
I'm just talking about the shit we're not going to give back.
Don't think we should, look, this should go back to it should go back to the people who it belongs to. There are a few pieces that perhaps have some value to us, but the majority of it should go back to them. And then we should take these criminals to the police. And if people don't want to go take the criminals to the police, then
I'm just going to say Barry starts getting the cart and gets moving and saying, let's do this, and starts going.
I'm with that too.
So you should do the right thing, except when you really want to do the wrong thing. Patience, I've never seen this side of you.
You have... And she's like holding that this spinning ball, and she's like, there are just a few specific items.
That sounds like an archaeologist to me.
Right.
So
It belongs in a museum.
So
Exactly.
Did I notice a caricature artist at the carnival?
there was a caricature artist at the carnival.
Okay, I jog ahead to go hit that first real quick.
Okay, so Trapper.
Put them in Bill.
So you're just ditching us while we're carrying all this shit into town?
What?
Yeah.
Classic furry move.
I mean, I'm carrying the juggling pins. I'm carrying the magical acorns.
So Trapper, no, I'm fine with that. Trapper kind of moves at a bit of a quicker pace, which makes sense. Trapper's got a super long gait, and everything. As the rest of the group kind of discusses the details specifically about like how you want to approach it on your way back to town. Trapper, I'm gonna need you to roll a stealth check as you pass the Kenku fortress.
I'm going to make sure we steer wide of the Kenku fortress with this cart.
That's fine. It's not a high
Oh no,
DC
yeah.
check. It's not a.
If I'm going past the Kenku, if I'm going past Kenku's on the road, I'm dipping on the other side of that. I'm not trying to get hit with another crossbow bolt.
I still need you to roll a stealth check.
I do want to mention in character that my posture is very good when I run. Weirdly straight, like almost military.
Thank you for that clarification.
Hold on, I need a modifier for this one. I'm still learning where to find stuff on D&D Beyond.
It should be a
I rolled
skill.
a 5.
You rolled a
Skills.
5. I can find it for you real quick.
Yeah.
Here we go. Plus 2. 7.
Yeah.
All right. So you get a 7. Nothing happens to you on your way back. You get a 7. You roll. You roll back into town. Trapper goes back to the carnival. And immediately beelines for the caricature artist. At the carnival, who is an insignificant and hard to describe humanoid of no specific gender, because I don't want to create that.
The person least likely to be caricatured.
They are so average. They're so nondescript. So much so that the GM hasn't even come up with one for them. So as the rest of you. Okay, so you have these two. I assume you put the two tied up bandits into the wagon.
Yeah, and I'm guarding.
Yeah, and everything. And so you roll back. Nothing happens at the Kenku fort. The two older children / pubescent, adolescent children at the lemonade stand wave at you as you all walk by. They waved at Trapper too, but he was too clearly focused on that caricature.
He was too busy nonchalantly looking around, not at anything in particular, to actually see anything.
So where do you go first? Do you go to drop off the bandits first, or do you go to return the wagon load first?
Yeah. Get rid of the bodies.
Bandits.
Okay. So you go more toward the.
What'd I miss?
You're just back in town and you're returning the bandits first before you return the wagon. They're in the wagon right now, tied up, being guarded by Crab. They did nothing. They have been wholly defeated. One guy smells hella like pee because he peed on himself a bunch.
So much.
So
The cart in general smells like mule pee. Just for the record.
Waters Wealth, the carnival was kind of toward the east of town by the giant clock tower. Between that and the large farm, the largest farm in Waters Wealth, you just have to go down that main drag strip toward the other end, and as the turn bends toward the south, you find the precinct. This is it's just called a jailhouse, but it's actually where the marshals and the constable work out of, and it is a 2-story wood kind of classic Western motif jailhouse, except it has like a real door on it. None of that like third door swinging nonsense. Nice real door. And there are marshals kind of moving in and out of it as you approach, and a few horses tied up outside.
So I guess like Patience probably with little fear, because she's not bad, like goes up to like whatever constable she can find. So I guess.
You're just looking for a friend, like a constable that doesn't look like they're doing anything. Are you doing this outside or inside?
I assume she would go inside to try to find someone like at the desk.
All right, there is a constable at the desk. He is chewing on some chewing tobacco and spitting into a cup right at his right at his desk. And he's working on some paperwork. He is filling out a piece of paper with some real sloppy, by your judgment, handwriting, but still technically legible.
Excuse me, sir?
Yeah?
We encountered some bandits outside of town that had been stealing from that carnival that rolled into town. 2 of them are here tied up outside. We'd like to transfer them into your custody.
Oh, absolutely. Let me get this form together for you. And he starts grabbing some forms out of like a filing cabinet, and he starts putting paper after paper after paper in front of you. There's like 10 papers in front of you. We're gonna need you to write a small description of exactly what happened, how the bandits were apprehended, if there were any other casualties, the rough location. We're gonna need everyone involved in the conflict to list their name on this piece of paper, and we're going to need like local addresses for you to communicate about whether or not we can pursue this legally.
Kentucky cocks his head to the side and says, "Never mind, I don't think any of them survived," and turns to walk out.
Same. I follow.
I've just been minding the car outside by myself. I didn't go inside.
You and Krob probably still outside. And everything. Patience, do you leave with Kentucky and Star?
So do I see the other 2 come out?
Yeah, you see.
I'm like, what happened? I go, what happened? What's going on?
That's in character. Patience is literally still making that noise.
Yeah, no, it is. She's just like, not good at lie, not good at leave.
Yeah.
I think she just kind of goes like, okay, I need a pen.
All right. So
I have special hands that need a special pen. Goodbye.
All right.
Not like this one I already have in my hand.
I want you to roll patience, and I want you to roll deception, but I want you to roll it with advantage because that lie is so stupid. I love it.
Okay. Okay. So for God damn it. Okay, deception. My deception is actually +4, but I rolled a 7.
That's 11.
Did you roll with advantage, though?
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
20.
There you go.
Excellent.
She's like, I have. So instead, it's probably more like, she's like, you might not know this, but as a tiefling, I require special pens and paper, otherwise they will burn in my very hands.
I did done hear that you all tieflings have some problems accidentally lighting fires. I appreciate your consideration for the safety of the precinct. We're supposed to call it a precinct now. Anyway, Thank you, Miss Patience. And then he just goes back to he collects the papers, files them very meticulously back into their individual folders, and then goes back to the paperwork he's working on.
And
Patience just leaves
so I see you come out with your hands over your face like that.
Yeah.
I say, Kravar, grab one of those with me. And I throw one of the guys over my shoulder.
I'll do it.
Follow me. We're going to walk in there and we're just going to dump them on the floor.
Yes.
I would like both of you to roll intimidation with advantage, because you're both doing it. And you're both intimidated.
This is fantastic.
I rolled an 18.
Oh, nat 20.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Oops,
so
sorry.
2 straight.
I missed it. What happened?
So Crab
And my intimidation is +5, so that's a 25.
Yeah, nat 20 is good. And 18 is also good in this situation. So Crab and Barry, after seeing everybody sort of step out, not wanting to deal with the paperwork and Patience mortified and lying, just immediately grab the 2 bandits, throw them over their shoulder, and just walk them in to the jailhouse and dump them on the floor.
And I say, clean up this mess. And then I walk out.
Clean up.
Fantastic.
And so they're like, the person at the counter, the marshal at the counter, just looks at both of you and looks at the bandits and then just goes to writing his paperwork down. And everything just says,
Yes, sir.
just no response of any kind of thing. Hand shaking under the desk.
But I am going to be like, go get your cuffs because I'm going to take my rope with me.
And so they get their cuffs. I was gonna dock you on that 5-foot rope each. No, they take. That's the kind of game mommy I am. They take the cuff. They get their cuffs and they cuff them. The gags come off. Nobody's listening to the bandits. Everybody's eyes are on you. You're in terror. Krav, roll perception while you're in there, right before you walk out.
That would be a 7.
Okay, you just walk out then. So y'all walk out and everything. No fuss, no muss. Do you head back over to the carnival to deal with the wagon load?
Absolutely.
By the way, Krav, thanks for getting my back there. Appreciate it.
I'll give you a fist bump.
Pound it out. So
I'm gonna slide those boots into my backpack.
Please roll a strength saving throw.
roll a contested strength track between each other. You both take 8 damage.
My God!
You break each other's hands. It's amazing. Rob,
Krav, you son of a bitch.
I rolled a nat 20 on my strength check.
So that's what, like a 35?
Both
It's a 24.
Both Barry and Krav are handed fresh bowls of meat now.
It is the coolest looking fist bump you've ever seen.
There's a person that's trying to break in the house. They die from the force impact of the fist bump. There's 3 anyway. Okay,
this fist bump was like chewing fire gum.
He touches himself inappropriately.
That was nice. So we moving back toward the carnival. Weirdly enough, in Water's Wealth, y'all don't get too many looks, especially now that there's one less super giant. And there's so many people in town from the outskirts for the carnival, so you have a lot more strangers about than would normally be. And Water's Wealth is pretty big as it is. So y'all don't get too much looks as you go back toward the carnival, probably back toward that big top with Bill that Bill was in and met you at, right?
Yeah.
pulling the wagon back in, everything. You all see Trapper just sitting in front of a caricature artist, and the caricature artist is like, "So, what do you want me to have you doing?"
Oh, I'm sorry. I was waiting for the kids to pass by. How much for some sexual pictures?
Oh, it really is some furry shit.
You want me to draw you some sexy, like, of you doing sexual pictures, or?
No, it's not me, man. A buddy of mine is real into centaur.
Oh,
I was wondering if you could give me a couple. I don't know if he is like straight or gay or bi, but could I get like 3?
Oh yeah. He actually doesn't even start drawing. He reaches into like a bindle that's beside him, and he's like, "Centaur,
perfect.
Centaur. This comes up a lot more than you think it would." Centaur.
Doing me solid right now. I'm in kind of a hurry.
And he pulls out 3 centaur scenes of very sexual nature. In the furry art community, one of them is very like super fantastical hyper centaur-y kind of thing. That dick is too big even for a centaur. And then the other 2 are more just like straightforward centaur art. He's actually a pretty good artist when he puts his mind to it. But you know, people don't pay to sit for 8 hours while he artistically oil paints them. And everything.
Oh fuck, dude, this is perfect. This is exactly what I was wanting. I was hoping to get kind of a diverse spectrum of the realism.
He looks at
so
him
this
and
is
he's like,
perfect.
"Well, these are originals, so they're gonna be a silver a piece."
That works, man.
Yeah,
I like it. Can I get you to sign him for me?
he does. I'm gonna make you write this down because I don't want to bother because this person's not even supposed to exist. He signs them in very literate pen. It's not like a normal signature. It's like a print, and everything.
Ooh.
And he signs them Jaminy Crackit. And so Jaminy Crackit is this artist's name. And you have 3 Jaminy Crackit signed original centaur porn arts.
Perfect. Thank you very much, sir. I throw in an extra 4th silver piece, and I run back over to the big top.
Yeah, it's the big top.
Tuck these into a little envelope that I have.
This art is amazing. I demand to know an intricate backstory and 3 core pieces of your life.
From Jaminy Crackit.
Spare us.
I'm not for interest in the
Mr.
stream.
Crackit, yes.
For interest in the stream.
Let's not have a repeat of a lemonade stand.
Yeah, for interest in the stream, no. But if you want to do it after 10 p.m., yeah, I'll give you a Jaminy Crackit backstory. Anyway,
If you're real good, Gay Mommy will give you a Jaminy Crackit at the end of all this. You have to be good.
As a treat.
As a treat.
Centaur porn and the Jiminy. This is getting real.
Jaminy Crackit has a deep, rich backstory. Anyway, in the big top, you see a few people wandering around. It's getting close to evening, which means it's gonna be showtime in an hour or two. An hour or two. The sun isn't set yet, but it's going to shortly, and that's usually sunset is around when they tend to get started. Bill is barking orders at various staff members and everything, various performers. There's a surprising amount of clowns, like a solid 60 clowns sitting in the stands on this big top. It's a very clown-heavy carnival.
I sidle up to Barry. I say, "Hey, did we ever figure out what the trapeze people were using?"
No, I think they just suck.
Oh shit. Okay.
And Bill turns as he sees y'all pull up the wagon, and he's like, "Hey, you're back already, and I see you got the goods. Job well done, very fast. I'm glad our show tonight shouldn't be affected by this." And one of his staff members goes up to start looking after the mules and looking after the mules to make sure that they're fine, and then goes to look at the mules after to make sure they're fine, and then Bill then goes off to go get their feed and go get some like leading reins for them to get them off the wagon. He's like, some bonus mules for me too. That seems super. Nice
Those
of
don't
you."
come with it. This is ours.
Are you taking my mules?
Yeah.
Well, all right. You can't blame a guy for trying.
You want to buy them off of us? We'll happily sell them to you.
No, I've got enough animals. Okay. So he looks at all of you and everything, and he's like, all right, well, let me go. Said he snaps his fingers off into the distance, and the hand boy comes up to him, kind of from distraction, disinterest, to him, and he's like, go get my large purse. I gotta dole out the gold and items for these people that brought us back our things. And he just starts kind of moseying off, and he's like, get after it, hand boy. I don't want that half-assed effort. And he runs off and goes gets the purse. He looks back at you guys, and he's like, so you got everything back? Harp's in there, right?
Yep.
Harp's in there and everything. And so he's like, hope you don't mind if I look after some of these objects, make sure everything we think was stolen was there.
I mean, let's sort out payment first. Enchanted items can do enchanted things, I'm sure.
Roll persuasion, Trapper.
Okay, landed against another die on its edge. Fuck. This was my nat 20 for the day, I guess.
So he's like, all right. He keeps calm, and he's like, all right, guys. And the hand boy comes back with the purse, and he starts handing you out the gold, which I cannot remember. I think everybody was roughly around 50 gold apiece. And so he just starts doling it out that way because you guys got it done. You got it done fast. You brought back the whole wagon load. A whole wagon load as far as he knows at this point. And he's like, all right, here's your gold. So each of you get an extra 50 gold, except I think Skitaki, I think you get more because Patience wanted some time with the harp first. And so the way it was negotiated, Skitaki hard negotiated for her share. So he actually remembers that, gives you 100 gold to split between you and Patience. And then
I also negotiated for more because if I did the strength game better.
Oh, you did the strength game better. And so he gives you back, or he gives Barry half again as much, and everything. And he's like, all right, you guys, you got your gold, and everything. I'm gonna. Are you gonna
give Barry his hat back too, or?
No, I made a deal. He gets to keep the hat if I get more gold and do the job.
Yeah. And he's like, I'd much prefer to keep the hat. It has sentimental value. He goes back to the wagon and he looks. So who in either the journey or their travel decided to pocket or keep their physical items that they wanted to keep?
I've got the boots in my bag.
Yeah. Camille, you've got, or Patience has the moving object, but not the frog. Trapper, did you stash the frog? I'll let you do it because there was some wander back time.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah, you stashed the frog, and you've got the acorns. Krav, do you still have the ring?
I have the ring and the dress.
And you're wearing it. Are you wearing it, or you got it stashed?
I think I'm wearing it. I never took it off.
Okay.
So I am going to take the dress off, and I'm gonna be an honest, and I'm gonna tell him we found this, and then I'm going to sadly take off the beard ring, my Colonel Sanders and I'll go, and we found this.
And two performers look forward. The strongman comes. The strongman is about Barry's size. About Barry's size. He's around the same thickness, density, muscular build, and everything. But he is just a normal human, and everything. Fully hairless, wearing a sheet diapery thing that he wears when he doesn't have his favorite outfit. And he's like, "Oh, thank you!" And he puts on the dress real quick. And on him, it becomes like a one-strapped wrestler, like strongman singlet like you would have seen back in the days of the turn of the 19th, 20th century carnivals, and everything. And then a young, fairly fair elven woman walks up. She's a little short for an elf, but she definitely carries all those narrow, sharp features of an elven woman. Takes the ring, puts it on, and immediately grows like a coal miner's, or like a gold miner's, long beard and a great beard and everything. And she's like, and she just is like, thanks, and just goes back. Bill,
I'm gonna say, wait.
Okay.
Just one more time. Just one more time.
And so she's like, looks at Krav, pulls off the ring, beard disappears, gives it back.
I'm gonna
to
put
Krav.
it on, grow a Fu Manchu,
Yeah.
kind of stroke it a little bit, and then take it off and give it back.
Hold on.
It's hard. It's hard being a dragonborn. You can't grow facial hair.
Hold on. Krav, roll a charisma check.
16.
And I rolled 5 for her greed. She looks at you, and she's like, and she looks over at Bill, and she's like, I didn't even want to work here that much longer anyway. And she flips you back the ring, Krav. You now have a ring of changing facial hair permanently.
Nice.
For that one more time moment, because she just smirks and walks back toward out of the big top and toward her tent to gather her things. And Bill is super grumpy about it. He's like, "You cost me a bearded lady, but damn if that Fu Manchu don't look just right on you."
I'm going to clutch my pearls, and I'll toss him a couple silver.
And he's like, all right. So he looks.
Bill, I might have just the Band-Aid to put on that wound for you. I pull out one of the centaur etchings, and I hand it over to him. I say, I just want to let you know I was thinking of you, buddy.
So Bill looks at the centaur etching, because I think Josh picked up. You're picking up because I believe I mentioned he was into centaurs. It was a thing, right?
He mentioned that he liked charcoal etching centaur porn. I wrote that down.
Yeah, you wrote it down. And you were right. Yeah, that was from last game. Josh was playing actual roleplay there. Congratulations.
You solved my centaur porn puzzle.
Star made a very, very good etchings edging pun that I liked.
How did I didn't even remember that.
And he looks.
I didn't remember that at all.
He looks at this and he's like, And he goes, and he's like, and then, you know what? Just because I like this so much, he looks at y'all and he's like, well, thanks, and he just walks away from the wagon back toward his side of the big top with that porn etching. You just gave him one, right?
Just one.
Just one.
Yeah.
Back with that porn painting and everything. He doesn't even check the wagon. People just start unloading the wagon. Nobody asks you about any of the items. Trapper has successfully distracted Bill because he saw the harp. He could see the harp, and he was like that.
Yeah.
And then while you're standing there, the mouth boy who's super cheery and everything comes up, and he's like, "Hey y'all, we need the harp for the session, but Miss Patience, if you want to come back later, maybe tomorrow, and study the harp." Bill let me know that he's like, you couldn't hold on to it right now, but you could get at it tomorrow when we don't need it for the show, and everything. So Patience will still get her chance to examine the harp in thoroughness.
Good.
Just needs
I say to the mouth boy, hey dude, you want to go get a corn dog?
I've been snacking on corn dogs all day, and then he just walks off. He
That's
just walks
good.
off.
I figured you would be into it, but all right.
Is there a banjo
I'm going
player
to stay
nearby?
quietly.
I don't want to get a corn dog.
And then I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that's what I asked. I was trying to make a deliverance joke with the mouth boy.
Oh, with the mouth boy. Yes, there are banjo players everywhere in Water's Wealth. It's the most common instrument, followed by the fiddle, followed by the mouth harp.
I ready my wood flute.
And then, weirdly enough, the calliope. Any good tavern has a calliope in it. So
all playing the Monkey Island theme song.
All playing it. So yeah, Bill walked off. You all got to keep your items, and you all get to keep your items. You're in the big top. Do you step out? Do you go back into the carnival? Where do you go?
Well, I was gonna say let's take this cart and wheel down to whatever stables nearby and sell it.
Yeah, you got Staples here? Oh shit!
I'm sure there's a stable in town. Or you're making a joke about Staples?
Yeah.
Trying
sort of office supply
unsuccessfully.
So there are multiple stables in town for you to unload that. There's one just down the way, a little bit south, on the street in Waterswealth, and the stable. There's a stable hand and another person sitting and brushing their horse, which they've got stabled there. Stable hand is currently arguing with.
That's a powerful nickname.
And no, the stable hand is currently arguing with a gentleman in a fantastic suit, bolo tie, super black, super clean, which Waterswealth isn't dirty, but it is dusty. And so
the suit or the guy?
The guy and the suit. Hair perfectly coiffed. He's a dwarf. He's got his mustache rolled up into such a fine curl. It's rotating slightly. His beard is doing the same. And he is currently arguing with the stable hand as you all approach.
About what?
Stability.
So he starts yelling, and he's like, y'all, you better listen to me. I am not going to accept a no on this offer. Everyone else has agreed to sell to me. Nobody says no to Fredrickson Hammergood. I will definitely be buying this property. Now, if I have to go to a bank, if I have to go to the owners again, if I have to come here with 3-4 times the offer, you and your horses have got to get. I have something to develop here, and I'm not going to let your dumb little community stop me from it. And the stable hand...
Can I throw my chakram at him?
Oh my god!
I mean, you can. I'm not
I am.
Stop you.
I mean, I am kind of a cultist, for the promotion of wilderness.
Yeah.
That does feel a little out of character.
Yeah, I don't think I would actually.
Yeah.
I would be gripping my chakram a little tighter than I meant to, I think, maybe.
Right, so this argument is in full blast as the 6 of you approach with the 2 mules and the wagon. They unloaded the wagon, but they did not take the wagon because the wagon wasn't theirs. So you actually have the 2 mules and the wagon there as you approach this argument. Stable hand's just like, sir, I understand that, but you have to understand we need that land for grazing. We take all kinds of mounts out there to graze. You cannot. There's only so much grazing property. Why don't you just build a little further out on the untilled earth and everything? And so that's the argument they're having back and forth.
Yeah.
This guy isn't like the mayor, right? I can't remember what you said his name was.
He's not the mayor. He's not the mayor.
Okay.
I might insert myself into the situation and just say, sounds like you got your answer, Hammerbone.
Yeah. I'm flanking. Standing
And
next
I just
to
like mean
Trapper.
mug. Def intimidation
He
attempt.
turns and looks at your group. And he turns, looks at your group, and then he's paused for a moment because you're an intimidating lot as a group. But then his eyes land on both Patience and Skitaki. Patience, you know this as Fredrickson Hammergood. He has moved into town over the last few years, and he is a person that has bought up a lot of property, including some of the property that your college exists on because your parents did not buy all of the land that was on the property, or all the land on the property they put the university on. They were just given it by people, people were just letting them use it, and then he went out and bought it out. So he can't fully extricate your bigger, expansive building. He doesn't own all of it. They do own some of it, and so he's been raising the rent to use his things and putting you guys in a bit of a bind and everything. And he's like, Miss Pratt, it is so fine to see you on this wonderful hot heat season afternoon. I see you've got your bugbear fellow companion with you, Mr. Scott Toe. What do I owe the pleasure of your interruption of my business and all these wonderful strangers you brought?
We were just came across mules and a cart that had been appropriated by some bandits, and we were looking to find these mules and the cart a new home for some cash.
Well, if it's cash you be needing, I have made many a generous offer on the Pratt land stake so that we can tear down that fine but waning institution of education, so that we can bring a bit more community jobs to this town instead for the hard-working people of Waters Wealth.
The college provides plenty of jobs. You can't just tear down a college and... No. Waters Wealth College belongs where it is.
Are you threatening to tear down her home? Is that what you're doing?
You don't like pool flags?
I don't like pool flags, but that's just me.
We can talk about that later, Star, but okay.
He looks over at Skitaki and he's like, have you not been able to put some reason into her brain? I understand that the highly educated are often lacking in common sense and practicality, but you, sir, are a very...
Listen, I think you might need to step away, sir. You're being mean to my friends at this point.
Hold on. He's addressing Skitaki.
She wanted to find you about the donkeys and the wagon. I wanted to find you for a whole other reason, and I pee on his leg. I'm a bugbear. That's what I get.
Do you not wear does Skitaki not wear clothes?
Do you wear pants?
He's like Winnie the Pooh. He wears a shirt but no pants.
Right. He's got furry.
I start cracking. And probably pauldrons.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, in this universe, bugbears don't wear pants.
All right, so canon.
You know what? I'm making it canon. This bugbear doesn't wear pants.
It's canon. Bugbears in general, just not big on clothes.
Roll with it.
I assume that they're just hairy enough you don't really see much.
I've lost my composure.
Yeah.
Like a sloth bear.
I didn't even smell that coming.
I'm gonna roll a dex save to see if he jumps out of the way of your pee or accidentally just gets.
I think you should have disadvantage for being surprised.
Fair.
You know what? I rolled an 8 and a 7, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. He does not. He gets peed on by Skitaki immediately. And he's like, you see his face redden. You can see that dwarven hot blood kind of come to the surface for a moment, and then he breathes, and he's like, he goes, well, I thought you were a bit more of a gentleman, but apparently I was wrong. I will take my leave, Miss Patience, and I will talk with you. When he looks back at the stable hand, and he's like, I will talk with you later. And he just storms off. Wet with urine. And Fredrickson Hammergood is extricated from the scene, and you're left with the hand. You're left with the stable hand sitting there, being like, looking at you, being like, "Thank you."
I turned to Skitaki and was like, "That was a moment of genius."
I am so sorry. And she actually punches Skitaki. He's like, "That, not inside the building."
We were inside?
You were on a road.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say. I thought we were right outside the stable. Is there an inside of a stable?
I don't know. She's still not particularly happy.
Yeah.
I was just glad I wasn't the only one who wanted to piss on that dude.
So, as an aside, first, don't Google "do bugbears wear pants." Second, it looks like about half the time they're in loincloths, so I'm going to go with that.
There you go.
You're wearing a loincloth, but it's easy to just lift up and pee whenever you need it.
Sure.
Yeah, there's no way I'm not Googling that.
So
Oh no.
So he looks at you and he looks at Patience. He's like, Miss Pratt, it's okay. It's okay, Miss Pratt. It's fine. Thank you for getting rid of him, I guess. It's not like our argument was doing anything but running in circles, chasing after itself.
It's been the same thing with the college.
You said you got those 2 mules over there, and you're looking to get rid of them? I heard that part.
Yeah, we're looking to sell them.
And the cart.
In the cart.
Oh, I definitely have use for carts, mules, and everything else. Yeah. Let me take a quick think on it. Looks over at the mules. They seem perfectly normal, average, neither particularly extremely healthy or unhealthy mules. And the wagon's in relatively good condition. And so he's like, I suppose I can offer you 5 gold apiece for the mules and an extra 10 in, so 20 all total for the wagon and the mules. That's about the best I can do.
Is that a fair
You can sell these
price?
you can sell these easy for 30 gold.
Well, wait. Like, I don't want to just pull this out of our ass of like what number we're gonna say. Like, I would like to roll to see if that's actually a fair price.
Okay, Patience, roll insight. I'm going to say Star did say that, though, before anyone had a moment to do that. Star, roll persuasion. Persuasion.
It should be with an advantage if we're talking about commerce, right?
No, because you're doing it in front of the group.
Oh, good point. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was very much a blurted out thing.
Yeah.
I think my persuasion's +7, so I'm pretty sure I just got a 20.
Okay. And then Patience, what did you get on insight?
Oh, it's just a straight 10.
Just a straight 10? Patience,
Yeah.
you know enough about commerce to know that there's a good amount of negotiation that goes around it. You don't really know enough to know if that's a fair price. You're guessing it's not a terrible price for it. But he looks over at Star and he's like, well, you know what? 25 for the whole lot. I got, if I'm gonna use it, I'm not gonna sell it. And so it's going to take some time for the value to come back on me. 25.
Mm-hmm. As soon as I said what I said, I got really uncomfortable and sort of backed down. So it's Patience now.
And so he's like, he looks at Patience. He's like, your friend's right. It's worth a bit more. And just gives Patience 25 gold, or unless she stops him.
Oh, thank you. And Patience just kind of goes like, 5 divided by 6. Crap.
Just divide it by 6. Don't worry about the numbers. I'll just give you the numbers later. So you divide it evenly.
Can you break this down? Can you turn this into coppers and silvers, please?
He gives you enough to split it evenly between 6 in the right quantity. I'm not doing that in the live play.
Let's just make it easy and say we got 600.
No, that's a terrible idea, Josh. So he gives that to you. And you've unburdened yourself of mule and wagon and all of the supplies that you didn't want to keep, and kept the supplies you all did want to keep, including the ring for Krav. So now the job is settled. You got to dissipate that exchange. What else do you do? Do you all hang out? Do you go back to the carnival?
Yeah, let's head south to the other settlement. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm interested in checking with. I'd probably go to Skataki first. Checking to where I could grab arms. I feel like spending money personally.
I say, let's go get a round on me. I'll buy the first round for all of us.
And a question.
And a bowl of meat.
Absolutely.
Did Bill give us a bed for Star's room?
What, Bill? No, Star's room has a bed coming into it, I think. No,
Yeah.
it's a pile of It's a pile of old used shirts with blankets on top of it.
I guess I didn't bother to make sure they held up that end, so it's completely up to you if they took the initiative or just hoped I did forget it.
Yeah. Bill did not give you a bed for it.
Yeah,
so,
I feel like we still came out on top of that deal.
and unless anybody feels like reminding me, I'm going to go ahead and just forget that happened. It was important to me when I said it, but I'm not thinking about it now. All I'm thinking about is the rush of actually being in real combat, and I want to upgrade my gear because I'm a dork.
So Barry suggested going to the tavern. Star wants to go get some weapons. Anyone else?
Oh, I'm going to the tavern.
Yeah, Krov's like, I'll take meat.
I
guess the question is, is it Skataki? Jesus, I'm so bad.
Yeah, that's right. And I will
Okay,
have to take you to the local smithy or arsenal or
conveniently.
Wherever.
Conveniently, Skataki happens to know of a weapon shop that happens to be right next to a very fine tavern that serves a very fine bowl of uncooked meat. Almost as if it makes sense to keep. It helps keep the party together. Questions, Trapper and Patience.
I'll be right back. Sorry.
A question for Trapper and Patience. Do you go to the tavern or the weapon shop with them? You do not have to.
I think that Patience probably goes like, I should probably go back to the carnival and see how what was his name, Trevor?
Yeah.
How Travis is holding up at the booth. But this has been weird and lovely.
Yeah, I'm definitely going shopping.
Well, it's been a pleasure to meet you, Patience, and thanks for helping out today.
Well, I want to follow Patience for a minute.
Yeah.
And have a little aside and be like, I don't know what it is that you kept, but you're not usually this way. Is everything okay?
Everything's. Look, that thing looks exactly. It's very similar to one of my favorite items, which I've kept for years. It's this little, spinning. Sorry, I have to pull up exactly what it looks like because in her head it's very clear. Voodoo. It looks exactly like that glass orb I have that will follow me, and it makes little whirring noises. I think this thing is super old. Super, super old. It is of great importance, and I think that it needs to be studied.
Okay.
Didn't Trapper have some opinions on that before I fought?
He was also interested in it.
Well, I mean, I thought that he knew something about it, maybe.
I was definitely wanting to connect with Patience at some point and talk about it and ask about it and look at it and stuff.
Yeah, because I think you would recognize it as something that guild's artisans have tried to replicate but have never been able to replicate.
Right. Yeah. That's what I meant. I thought it was a specific roll check regarding sort of banked on his engineering experience that happened last
I think
session.
we both rolled.
Yeah, my interest is definitely peaked in it for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would definitely like to know what shops there are in town besides the weapon shop.
I mean, it's a big city. There's a lot. Oh, is Steve silent?
Mommy needs to eat.
Oh, chewing.
I thought you guys were going to talk a little bit longer. So I was
I thought it was too, but then suddenly.
I'll call out after
Jane
Patience.
Mommy has 3 mouths of her own to feed.
Patience! Don't you want a bowl of meat?
Oh, no, I don't want a bowl.
Well, at the very least, I could buy you a drink or a meal.
Can I come back after I check on Trevor in the booth?
By all means, go take care of your business.
Yes!
Hey, Croft, I hope this isn't ignorant, dude. Have you ever tried cooked meat? Shit is dope. I can whip up some fire and put it on a sheet of metal and chop.
Absolutely disgusting.
He likes it.
All right, man, that's fair. That's fair.
All right, so
I'll be right back. Skitaki, you go with them. I'll meet you guys back there.
So Patience heads back to check on the booth. Skitaki and Star go to Skitaki leads people toward the weapon shop and tavern. Conveniently, that's where a lot of the shops are.
Is it a weapon shop and tavern combo?
No, it is
sounds like a terrible idea.
We're at the weapon shop. The tavern bell.
Come get your beer and sharp objects.
It's a gay bar called the Weapon Shop.
Nice.
And
Hell
it
yeah.
is amazing.
I'm double interested now.
It's just nothing but leather.
You know what, Steve? Let's be real here. It would be called the Gun Show.
It would be called the Gun Show.
Or Quick Draw.
Nobody goes to Quick Draw. They have a specific clientele there. Nonetheless, so there's a weapon shop, and then beside it, there's a tavern. That tavern's name is... The weapon shop literally just has a picture of a sword and a picture of, like, a revolver on it, and it has no words. The tavern's name is... Where is it? Hold on. The tavern's name is... hold on. I got it. Okay.
It's a good thing that you came up with it beforehand.
I know, right? I lost it. 'Cause I didn't put it in the right section of my game.
Tell us more about the caricature artist.
We have to be good to earn that.
Mommy's prepared.
Interestingly enough, this is called Jaminy's Place.
Oh no!
Cracken's Tower.
No.
I was worried this game would just evolve into full-on porn.
It's Jaminy's Place, but it's Jaminy Crockett, not related to Jaminy Crackett. Different Jaminies. Super common name. Now, the tavern's name is called Lyra's, and it is what Skitaki failed to mention is that this is a 3-story large tavern that is both a card hall and a bordello and the best food in Water's Wealth, as long as you're willing to admit that you're fine eating in a bordello. And it's sort of a classic Western bordello where there's a couple working girls fully dressed, and working boys fully dressed, and working other fully dressed. Fully dressed, and they're circulating, but it's not like super sleep. Nobody's sitting in laps drunkenly and everything like that. It's actually a fairly nice establishment. The floors are clean. There's like a restaurant section where there's a lot of tables with people eating, and then there's like a gambling hall section, a bar that spans the entire back of it with a ton of different liquors, and then stairs that go up along the east side of it to the second floor and the third, which are obscured. It's not like open.
I know it's strange to eat at the bordello, but in my native land, there's these things called strip clubs, and they serve hot wings. And there you get. Never mind. Sorry, couldn't resist the hot wing joke.
And I was gonna say.
So Lyra's is there, and it's fine. You walk in as a group and everything. There's cards, there's food, there's booze. Barry, you said that you were gonna buy a round for everyone.
Yep.
And so, Barry, I assume you and Krav immediately settle down into a table that will have room for everybody. But I'm guessing Skitaki and Star, you go to the weapon shop next door?
We go to the weapon shop.
Okay. I'm gonna start with the weapon shop, and then I'll come back to the tavern, and then Trapper, do you follow Skitaki and Star, or do you just go to other shops?
What other shops do I see? I feel like first thing I would do would be get a shot of pine liquor and pour it into my bottle of tea.
You get a shot of bartender, super friendly, older gentleman, gray beard, bald head. little bit pudgy, and he starts pouring drinks for you. If Skataki or if Trapper doesn't follow Skataki and Star immediately, they go into the weapon shop. In the weapon shop, it's a much smaller facility, obviously, than Lyra's, and there's just a gentleman at the door that's roughly about Skataki's height. It's a kind of overweight. It's a kind of overweight golem looking guy. He looks like he might be a golem. He's got a lot of stone to him and everything like that. He looks like he might be a golem. He might be a Goliath, but he's definitely a little pudgy. But he's a thick man, kind of guy you don't mess with. And then at the register, if you will, there's a goblin with like pinched glasses and a little visor and a nice little bow tie and some suspenders and everything. And he's currently polishing a gun. The revolver is out, and it's empty, and he's just polishing the gun. And then he has like a little tiny cleaning stick to get down its muzzle.
Very cool.
And then on the walls, all manner of weapons are mounted, but they are behind like sort of chicken wire fencing with makeshift wood paneling doors, so they all have to be unlocked to be taken out.
Okay.
As soon as I put that shot in my tea, I'm heading over here, taking it to go.
Okay.
Okay. So, since I'm already in here.
What?
It's the Old West, so you can do that. Otherwise, you'd have to get one of those weird Las Vegas cups.
Yeah.
I got a long robe too, so I'm just kind of discreetly.
So I'm specifically interested in crossbows and leather armor. Is there anything that catches my eye?
They don't have
when I look in
at all in this shop, but they do have crossbows. There's some nice crossbows on the shelf. Roll insight.
Perfect. Uh, 22.
22. All right, so you see some particularly nice items that are kind of higher up, not for you because you're so tall, but kind of higher up for most people.
Sure.
They are dark wood engraved, like brushed silver accented crossbows. There's two of them. One of them's a little bit smaller than the other one. One of them looks like it might be a two-hander. The other one looks like it might be a one-hander. And they look very pretty. And they look like they are, you can tell from your merchant days, they are super finely made. You can't tell if they're like magic or anything, but they are very fine-looking crossbows.
Okay. I'm going to have trouble keeping my eye off of that gorgeous darkwood light crossbow, I'm guessing. The two-hander. Does that look like a light crossbow or like a heavy one?
The two-hander is a heavier crossbow. You need two hands to shoot.
They're both two-hander. The hand crossbow is the one-handed one.
Yeah.
So is it a heavy or is it a light? The two-hander.
The two-hander is a heavy. The hand crossbow that looks like a miniature version of it is a light.
Okay. Cool. So okay. So they're both two-handers. Just one of them's a lighter and one of them's heavy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to kind of have my eye on both of those then, I think. And I'm going to continuously stare at them, but I'm going to try to nonchalantly just plop my crossbow in front of the, you said it was a goblin, right?
Yeah,
who's polishing the gun?
Yep.
Yeah. So right in front of that, I'm going to plop my crossbow down and say that I just saw a rather large lizard companion of mine take significant damage in a combat, and it's kind of made me wonder what I can do to do a little more damage than what I had already done. I'm looking to upgrade this puppy right here. What do you think you can do for me? I'm trying not to completely fixate on the two super polished, obviously expensive ones, but I can't help it.
the goblin looks up at Star. Scotto, are you hanging out in the weapon shop with Star, or do you?
Oh yeah, I'm playing guide.
So Scotto looks over at, and takes note of Trapper entering, and then looks over. The goblin takes note of Trapper entering because you went into the weapon. Did you go into the weapons thing, or did you go to the table, Trapper?
Yeah, no, I went to the weapon shop first.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And so takes note and kind of nods over at Trapper, and then eyes kind of pull over to Skitaki, and he smiles. Skitaki, this is Larry. That's not his real name. It's just the name everyone calls him because Common doesn't say his name very well. So Larry, and Larry looks at you, and he's like, he looks at you, and in perfect accentless Common, not even a local to Water's Wealth, he's like, "Oh, hi Skitaki, how you doing? Your friend, is this guy your friend here? I saw you walk in with him."
He's my friend, and he asked me to take him to someplace good. So don't embarrass me. We need top shelf here. Nothing but, and none of your usual shenanigans on price.
All right. Definitely top shelf. We have. I mean, of anyone, Skitaki. We've got some of the finest merchandise in Water's Wealth. Looks back over to Star and is like, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know how to address you. I'm sorry I called you. I just assumed him from your voice. How do I address you? How would you prefer me to refer to you? What's your name?
My name is Star.
All right, Star.
We can just keep it at that.
You can just. He starts moving a bit nervously because now the sale's gotten off to the wrong foot in his mind. And he looks over at the he looks over at the thing and it's like, well, I saw that you might have glanced up at the Pride and Joy. If you're looking for a crossbow that's a step up from what you got. Really, my shop doesn't have a lot in the... I hope you're ready to spend some money, is what I'm saying. Because I've got money. And, or I've got product. And he goes over and hops up on like a little like display shelf that's below the caged items. And then unlocks the caged items and pulls down both of the crossbows. He struggles with the heavier one a little bit. And puts them down. And he's like... These beautiful bows, these beautiful girls, have taken the lives of no less than several thousand people across several conflicts in battle of both good and ill repute. And either one of them will run you north of about 1,500 gold.
Those are literally the only crossbows you have?
Are you kidding me? What did I just say to you? 1,500 gold.
What justifies that price?
Oh, I don't mind telling you. This one here, he holds up the lighter one. This one here, barely is easy for a novice to look like an expert and really nail anything they shoot at. This guy over here holding the heavier one, this one, you can load any kind of bolt in it, and it just feels like it just punches a bit harder when it lands and drives the bolt a bit deeper. And so he holds one up, and he's like, basically, essentially, more accurate, more damage. And he's like, and so that's why. And he looks over at Scotto, and he's like, Scotto, you know that I generally don't highball people, and I, of course, would not fool around on the price from a repeat friend of a repeat customer like you, sir, and everything. He's like, how you've offended my honor with that. You can roll an insight check to see if he's giving you an honest price or not, Scotto, and Star for that matter.
We have 12.
Mine's not going to be much better. It is 11. It's worse.
As far as both of you know, that does seem like a reasonable price for a weapon that does better, that's more generally better made than your average well-made crossbow. That just is.
It's like 30 times.
What?
Am I rolling inside?
30 times markup from regular heavy crossbow.
Have you looked at magic items?
No, I have not. That's why I'm wondering. Like, I don't even have experience with magic items. I would think. Well, no, I probably would.
As a GM. So it's a plus 1 to damage for the heavier one, and then a plus, and then a +2 to hit for the lighter one. And so both of them are absolutely magical items. Also, I love that you come in, you're like, I've had one combat, I'm gonna go upgrade my weapon now. I'm gonna go into the store.
It just felt relevant to my character.
I know. That's why I'm fine role-playing it out. I was just like, I love that your character's like, well, I felt threatened. I need something to feel less threatened.
Exactly.
Get me the biggest truck. Give me the biggest truck for the road.
Exactly.
And so, and then he simply goes on to explain, the rest of the crossbows in here, or any of the other kind of bows, are essentially, I don't want to double deal you. I could sell you one for like 50 gold, and it would maybe do a little bit better for a while, but honestly, just some cleaning and maintenance on your crossbow is pretty much going to do the job, and I'm not trying to steal from you. And then he throws a dirty look at Skitaki. It's just like a glance.
Well, that's cute.
Yeah, and he's like, how dare you impugn my so Larry's like, so the only thing, if you're looking crossbows to be worth your time, are these two, and I can't go lower than 1,500. I already did. I already gave you the Skitaki special.
The Skitaki special.
7.
7.
All right.
Get it. Okay, we're gonna cut from here. Go back to the tavern. The tavern is pretty raucous. It's in the evening. The carnival's in town. It's pretty full. Krav and Barry are holding point at a nice, like, circular table that could easily, even at your size of party, in pure mass, hold 6 people and everything like that. Bowls of meat have been brought. Barry, do you is your meat raw or cooked? They asked.
I mean, it's not raw, but it's rare, like bloody rare.
Yeah.
Just because if I don't want to offend my new friend Krav over here.
So it's
like, I can't eat. I eat the raw, but I just can't stomach it. I don't have the same enzymes as you, man.
Yeah, and so Barry and Krav, you've got your food. A person walks in, human, about 6 foot tall, 6 foot tall, clean shaven, nice black brocaded vest, nice pinstripe pants and everything. Looks around, scans the thing, and then spots you two sitting at the table, and goes up to your table and is like, Are you fine, gentlemen, looking to make a friend right now?
I'm gonna lower the bowl a little bit. I'm just going to town on this bowl. There's pieces of meat like all over my hanging out of my mouth. I'm just gonna stare at it.
Well, that's to be seen. Have a seat and tell us what's up. Tell us what brings you here.
Yeah. And so he pulls in. I'm gonna roll against what I call Krob's passive intimidation.
Passive intimidation, like passive perception, but
We just need to add that to my character.
There's 2 huge dudes here.
Yeah. Well, Barry at least invited him. He's looking for you. Krav, He rolled a 3 against Crop's passive intimidation. So he sits closer to Barry, and everything, and he looks, and he's like, so.
Just because I just want to make sure, just because I'm being friendly does not mean I'm not suspicious of this guy.
Of course. So he looks to you, and he's like, word got around real quick that you two were 2 of the gentlemen that pulled a job for Bill Buxley and the Carnival crew recently. Is that correct?
Some bandits had stolen their goods, and it was the right thing to do.
He looks, and he's like, yes, it's important that we keep order in these times, that we not let lawlessness overtake us like Vast Cust and other parts of Litet more unsavory. My name is Jerome. I am here as a representative. I have a potential job for you that would help the community, if possible. If you gentlemen are interested in hearing details about it and picking up a little bit more work.
Now, who are you representing exactly?
He looks. He's like, I am representing a pair of the most delightful farmers you've ever met, Jim and Janice Cobb.
Jim and Janice Cobb. I don't know. I'm not familiar with those people because I'm not from around these parts.
Oh, they
Hey,
were.
Steve.
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah.
Do they grow corn?
They do. They do grow corn. You were correct, John.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah. Oh, they work. So it's Jim and Janice Cobb work on the. Jim and Janice Cobb both work on the Caspi farm. That's that big farm over on the east of town, just outside the carnival, across from the clock tower. That farm. They have enlisted me to discover someone. The Caspies are a proud family, goes back to the founding of Waters Wealth, and they don't want to talk about some money troubles they've been having. They've been being hassled by a particular investor, a particular land investor, and we need that investor to have some muscle, respond to the muscle he's been sending to threaten Jim and Janice.
Put it in.
I'm gonna sit up in my seat and look over at
I look back. I'm immediately like, oh, so someone's threatening these people. I don't stand for that.
And so he's like, yes, that's what's occurring. These people are getting threats. Jim and Janice are just workers on the farm. They have a decent amount of savings though, and they were looking for. There were more of you than just you two in the crew. I heard you took out some of the lawless family.
Well, if that's what their names was, we don't know what their names was. We just took them down. But my friends are out. I guess they're out for shopping on the town right now, but they'll be here shortly. I'm trying to get, what kind of sense do I get from this guy? Is he like sleazy or?
Visually, he looks fairly clean cut and everything, clean shaven, nicely dressed. He's speaking quietly, but that just might be his tone. Roll insight. Feel free to roll insight as well, Croft.
I rolled a 12.
Okay, Barry rolls a 12.
I rolled a 5.
He seems like he's, as far as you can tell, he seems like he's being honest. He's not shaken, he's got no facial tics or anything like that. He smells decent, but not too nice. He's not.
I mean, but I don't put any stock in those things, man.
But yeah, as
like I'm trying to talk about like the vibe I'm getting from him. Is he some guy who's like, does he align with my values? Is the kind of thing I care about.
As far as he knows, like you mentioned, he's like, when you mentioned hurting people, he's like, this gentleman, Mr. Hammergood, he's been sending people over to the Caspies to kind of push. Originally, he made an offer, then a more generous offer. They didn't want to sell, so he's been sending people over to the Caspies to sort of push them a little bit. Nothing's been said. Nothing's been like like stated in the obvious, but there have been implications of damage. So they don't want the Caspies finding out. The Caspies are too proud to be asking for help. But Jim and Janice have been working on the farm since they were both children. Their parents worked on that farm. Their parents' parents worked on that farm. They don't want anything bad to happen to the Caspies. So
You just need us
Quick
to
question.
yeah.
I was wondering if
Star's quick question, and then I'll have Krav repeat himself. Go on.
if what just happened was our complete interaction, does it seem like it's been enough time for me to defeatedly slink into the tavern?
No, it wasn't quite your complete interaction. But you will be coming in soon. Krav,
Okay, that'll work for me.
Krav?
So you just need us to scare them?
Scare. I mean, a lot of times when you get these sort of hired muscle men, when they get threatened back physically or they feel threatened, it could come to blows. So that's why I was looking around specifically for maybe some out-of-towners or some new folk they don't know, so they don't know to judge whether or not you're just there to push back a little bit, or you might get a little rowdy. And I also hear that
I'm gonna laugh and slam my fist down on the table. Ha ha ha! For that.
And I say, Barkeep, bring a round for my friend here.
And
You're gonna say, sit down for a minute. I'm interested, but I can't speak for the rest of my friends who were with us earlier. So they should be around shortly, and we'll wait here for them.
So that settles that. We're gonna pause on the tavern. We're gonna jump over to Patience. Patience, you make your way back to the booth at the carnival.
Yes.
Trevor, Travis, you nor your GM can ever remember his name. Trevor, Travis, Taylor. It's a T. There's no
Spy.
vowel in there.
Taylor Viss.
Taylor Visser.
Trevor's nice because it's like Tremor. It makes him easy for me to remember.
Okay, Trevor it is. Trevor is beginning to roll up the banner of the booth and deconstruct it as sunset begins to come on, and a lot of the Barker booths that don't have food or booze at them are beginning to pack up and everything. And you can see that pretty much 0 flyers that have been handed out beyond the ones that were there when you got there and that you yourself handed out.
Didn't go too well, huh, Trevor?
Yeah, there's nothing. There's no. I'd try to. I'd bark. I'd be like, "Come to the secondary education," but I couldn't get it out fast enough for people. I'm sorry, Miss Pratt. I know you were counting on me. Where'd you get off to?
Making some money for the college. Just trying to help us make some ends meet.
All right.
Doing a little reconnaissance.
And he starts packing. He keeps packing it up, Law and Order style, holding a conversation while smoothly doing actions that everyone would interrupt in normal life to talk to a person. And everything.
Yeah. I think Patience is helping.
Yeah,
because she feels bad.
Yeah, it feels bad. And it's like, well, we didn't have a great day today, but the carnival's in town for another few days or so. So I'll be here every day trying to do my best at getting people to pursue education, Miss Pratt.
Aww.
Well, keep an eye out for the folks that I'll think of something. We'll come up with something better for tomorrow, okay?
Okay. And he starts packing up the booth and everything. As he begins walking off, do you follow him up to the university or do you head back toward the tavern? Patience.
Oh, I should probably follow him back to the university because I want my parents to think I was there all day.
Okay, so you start following him. You start following him back to the university, and as you follow him back to the university, you see a very upset Hammergood walking up, and he's like, "Miss Pratt, Miss Pratt, Miss Pratt." And he's like coming up from behind. His pants have seemed to have dried. He's coming up from behind.
Yeah.
this is a man who can afford more than one pair of pants. Patience turns around and she's like, Mr. Hammergood, I'm sorry. Like, I can't make a decision for my parents, and they say no, and it's just not in the cards right now.
Miss Pratt, this isn't exactly about that same thing. So what I understand is that my trouble with your family is that you want to keep that university open, that secondary education center that you have. That is more than fine with me. I have multiple locations I am trying to set my fine establishment up at. And you made a good point. You did say that you do keep jobs. I don't want to take too many jobs away, but there are a few locations that have been giving me trouble. Now, I heard it from a little bird that there was a group of y'all that moved east out of town and got a wagon back for the carnival. I did not know you traveled in those circles, and I'm looking to hire some men to deal with some problem tenants. The deal here is I will gladly release the remaining land to you as a finder's fee for getting me this group of men to help acquire me land somewhere else that doesn't bother the secondary education center. And you and your family can continue your path of intellectualism, and these fine folk will still get a casino just on somebody else's land.
Like where? I mean, I'm not gonna get you some thugs to go pressure somebody else.
If you brought this to your parents, do you think they'd be the same? To sacrifice the university potentially to my ever increasing rent rates, or reduce it in size at least, just so that you can feel good about your decisions?
Whose property?
You know him. He's like, you know the Caspies, the very well-off Caspies on the east side of town. That's the giant farm.
I don't know. I will have to think about it.
All right. All I ask is that you have a discussion. I'll come find you. I'm sure you'll be at the carnival in your booth tomorrow. I'll come find you then, and then we can discuss it. And so he walks off feeling a little too self-satisfied for a strong no, maybe. But I mean, he is a Caucasian dwarf male, so a strong no, maybe is basically a yes.
That's basically a yes,
in his mind. So Patience gets that information as she goes back up toward the school. We are going to cut back to Trapper, Star, and Skitaki in the weapon shop after you've discovered, as far as you can understand, and as far as Larry, who is super dissatisfied with how you tried to deal him down on a very reasonable price. There's not really a good weapon for you in here. Trapper, roll perception. Josh.
Sorry, muted. I was rolling. I rolled a 12.
A 12.
And plus 4. 16.
Josh, you see, or Trapper sees, I should say, a very fine looking whip that has a very unique and unseen handle pattern design for it, where it looks like little bits of iron have been wrapped around its handle and its pommel, and then the whip extends out, in its little coiled roll. And it looks like, judging from what you can see, it looks like it's a solid 25 feet of length on the whip after the pommel, so about 30 feet on an arm extension of it, and it is of a quality and make that you can judge from your understanding of like craft work, to be quite good and everything. So you see that sitting there in one of the display booths that's on the ground, still behind chicken wire caging, and so it's still.
Can I tell what material it's made of?
Yeah. So it is iron and it is leather. You can judge that it's black. So it's black on black. It's very aggressive looking as an aesthetic. But yeah, it's very nice there.
In the shape of an endlessly interlocking ring of centaurs.
No, not interlocking ring of centaurs.
Centipede. Does it have a price tag on it? I don't know. I came in to ask Kitaki where would be a good place to buy some magical items, potion ingredients and shit. Which I could do in character, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've already stated it, so let's Kitaki.
Next time. Lessons learned.
So here's the best advice I have for you. If you follow this road for about a quarter of a mile, and then you take a left at the giant knobby tree, you'll find Patience's house. Because I have no fucking idea.
All right, well, I appreciate that. I might just go look out at the signs.
Do you pursue the whip at all, or do you just leave it be?
I might, on my way out, say, excuse me, how much is that whip? And what can you tell me about it?
It's a whip. Larry's like, it's a whip.
That's a weird price.
We got it. Price wise, it's like 30. I think it's 30 gold. Yeah, is it 30? And then the big guy that looks like somewhere between a Goliath and a golem, stone golem, is like, and so he's like, yeah. It's 30. It's 30 gold.
Yeah. If you had to if you had to quantify on a scale 1 to 8, what do you think? How much damage does it do?
How much damage does it do? I don't know a lot about whips. It looks like a normal whip. Like the person that sold it to me at about half the price that I'm selling it for, standard retail markup. So it's I suppose it does normal whip damage.
Right on. I appreciate it, man.
You can roll insight on it, or history, or arcana. I'll give you a chance to roll for it. Whatever your number is.
Yeah, another 12, and then insight.
Insight is only +1.
Plus 6. 18.
Oh, I was looking at Scott's. 18. You know that there's no way in hell anyone should have sold that, even if it was a normal whip, at 15 gold to anybody. It is too functional of a thing. It's too well made of a thing. And so you know that 30 would be a pretty good price on that. That is not a normal leather wrapped handle whip that is done there. There's something more about it, but you don't know what. And neither apparently does Larry.
All right, I'll go ahead and I'll pick it up. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. It looks kind of cool.
All right. So you grab the whip, you spend your 30 gold, which you easily made more than when you got your money from Bill. You spend your 30 gold. Skitaki, of course.
Well, and I guess so. A question about does it seem like something I would be able to weave a plant material along the length of, not to improve, but just to make it so that there is plant material that I might have some sort of physical control over?
Yeah, you could absolutely.
That can move the length of my whip?
That you could wrap the length of your whip and do some plant material nonsense.
Okay. Sweet.
The shops outside, there are a couple different apothecary shops that you can see in view from the weapon shop across the street. They're multiple buildings away from each other. And there is a strange doodads and baubles is what it's called, item shop and everything. Yes. That's across the street as well. And then
I go there first.
You go to the doodads and bauble shop. You go to the doodads and bauble shop. I would like you to roll perception as you.
All right. That is a 9. Oh no, I got on the wrong part of my character sheet.
Trapper's
Oh my God.
perception is 4. So 9
There it is.
plus 4 is
13.
All right. So you roll it. You see in there a half elf dressed in a dark robe. A dark robe, like it's not quite black. It's more of a deep midnight blue. Dark robe and wearing sunglasses that are pitch black on the shades and everything. And he turns to you almost immediately as he looks at you, and he's like, "You need to get out of my store right now."
Oh shit, what's up?
I need you to get out of my store. I need you out. I don't need any of that in. Just get out. Get out of my store right now.
Any what? Money? I got money to spend on the shit in here.
Roll a dex saving throw.
Ooh.
Yikes.
You get a plus.
14.
Yeah. As 14, what you rolled raw?
12 plus 2.
Okay, 14. All right. Okay, so he whips like a small bolt of lightning in your direction. It's just like a little thing. As far as it looked like a Tesla coil bolt of the size that you would see in those little Spencer's Gifts lamps, those little like touch lamps. But it's just a thing, and he whips it at your feet. You manage to step back from it. It's unclear whether he meant to hit you or not. And he's like, "I said, get out."
Damn, dude, I ain't looking to start some trouble, but I do need to buy some shit. Can you at least explain what's going on here?
He looks at you, and do you do anything to engage him or move at all?
I might take a...
You can roll an insight or a perception check to see if what this dude's about. I think insight for you.
23.
All right. He is moving to cast another spell. You can see his mouth's moving and everything like that. He is full tension and not in a place of listening.
God damn, I don't know if I want to start some shit and not get to finish my shopping, or... Jeez, alright, I think I just leave.
You just leave? And so
yeah.
You don't get chased?
No, you know what I do?
Yeah, what do you do?
I hold up my shield and I eat one of the acorns.
You eat?
I'm chaotic good. I wouldn't just walk out of this.
You wouldn't. All right. I'm going to have you roll initiative.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you roll initiative, Trapper. This is going to be a quickie.
14. Oh, wait, I have plus 2? Yeah. No. Yes. 16.
All right. So, Trapper, you hold up your shield and everything. Do you engage him once you perceive that he's definitely going to engage you first? Or, oh no, you popped your acorn. That was your first action. You hold up your shield.
I'm going to take the acorn. I'm planning to cast Entwine, depending on what it feels like the acorn.
So, you pop the acorn. Roll a Constitution save.
Don't just eat strange glowing acorns.
Nat 19.
I guess it's blue.
21.
All right. So you pop an acorn. It immediately sours in your system. Like, you're not even sure it hit your stomach all the way. In your esophagus, it immediately, like, soured in your system. And you cough You cough it up. You cough it up immediately. It shakes and rumbles on the ground. Because you're a level 1 character. I'm not going to punish you with what this would actually do to you if you ate it. It ate and rumbled on the ground. And then suddenly, bursting from it, is this massive, giant oak that's growing from a sapling to a full 150-year oak inside of this shop instantly. And so it explodes. It immediately starts breaking things, knocking things off shelves. You step back from it. Its trunk widens and widens. This was not a big shop to begin with. It's knocking over everything. It's damaging. I'm rolling a dex save to get out of the way in time. He does. He dodges and then it dodges out of the way and dodges back behind the counter, but it's encroaching on the counter. He runs out the back door of the place. You can keep stepping back, but it's becoming clear that this thing is going to take up the majority of this floor, and it's busted through the roof at this point of it. Its branches are kind of twisting upwards. It's hitting the sidewalls.
Jesus.
And creaking them, but the shop is destroyed. There's shattered glass everywhere. There's broken bottles on the thing. It is destroyed. You have destroyed this bottle shop.
Wow.
Okay. Isn't there is some sort, I can control plants, right?
Not in the way that you can just find a plant and instantly control it.
I can't just like stop this. Yeah, okay.
Spells that allow you to control or talk to certain things. But you made a glowing magic acorn that you had no idea what it would do. So, in reality, what this does is the moment it comes into contact with any kind of real moisture and or is planted, it explodes into a tree. Any kind of significant moisture. And so your throat was enough, your mouth was enough, but I wasn't going to be like, and it explodes in you and you die. Like, that would have been dickish. So you just blew up the shop with a tree. So now there's a big-ass oak tree right in front of you. You can still move around it and get to the edges of the shop if you want to rob it.
Yeah, what do I have time to grab?
Is that a chaotic good action?
I think so.
It's a
Sure, it can
What's
be.
the good action of that? Like, you fucked up the shop.
Perfectly fine.
Stealing from a racist?
I was just
You
about to
don't
say
know
the
why
same
he was
thing.
upset.
You have
It
no
could have
idea
been.
why he was upset.
It could have been the fucking whip.
It's chaotic good. He doesn't. He just needs to feel
No,
that he's not hurting
that's like
anybody.
chaotic
I
evil or
feel-
chaotic neutral at best.
I am going to
I feel like I aggressively attempted to pay this person for their sundries.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let
promptly
me.
destroyed his entire livelihood.
I mean, unintentionally.
Yes, but he doesn't know that, and so as far as he's aware, his discrimination against you was now completely warranted.
So number one,
initiating assault. I don't know about that.
Enough, so. I will allow Trapper. Trapper, you are more than willing. You are more than able to grab a few things, but you also understand that this is not going to be a good look for you. So,
Right, I'm not trying to clean anything out. I'm looking to take about $6 worth of stuff.
Yeah, you roll.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And tell me what you get.
I got a 3.
You got a 3. Okay. Trapper, without really analyzing anything too quickly, you just scoop 3 things, and we will discuss what those 3 things are when you have time that isn't spent walking away from the scene of the crime. The oak is beautiful. It is gorgeous. It's
Walking away from the scene of the crime. That's what's important here.
the biggest tree there. It's things. The shop owners in the neighboring shops step outside and look at it, and they're all like, "Fucking that."
As soon as I've pocketed those things, I have turned into a mouse.
Oh, you've wild shaped into a mouse?
Yeah, and I'm just scurrying away. Disguise self.
Or disguise self as a mouse. Disguise self as a spell. Is that a cantrip or a spell that you have?
It's Fearbook magic.
Where is your
I can just use it once per short rest.
I was about to say you don't have wild shape yet.
Armor weapons.
No.
Yeah, no, you don't have that. That's level
Level 2.
Yeah, you can.
Mm-hmm.
So you must stop perform. So the changes were up by the spell. I'm just reading it.
I don't think you can become a mouse with disguised self.
You can see.
Well, I mean, I was playing kind of loose with it.
Yeah.
It's a level 1 illusion.
You
but
can see
anyone,
1 foot shorter or taller.
Yeah, it's 1
Anyone-
foot taller. And
Yeah, anyone that needs to be deceived by my disguise can roll an intelligence saving throw. Investigate.
So based off of the disguise
succeed.
self description, you literally have the inability to turn into a mouse or even pretend to be a mouse. You can only
really?
be within a creature 1 foot shorter, and I'll give you some more leeway because you're tall but you're lanky. and everything. So you're like stupid tall. And
cool.
So you could be like.
Can I be like?
You can be about my size.
Yeah, and even then, you keep your regular dimensions. It's just an illusion. So if you disguise yourself to be fatter and somebody went to touch your big ass tummy, they would just go through air.
Yep.
Okay, I disguise myself to look like the side of an oak tree.
All right. You look like the side of an oak tree, and people don't approach it immediately because they're scared of what the fuck just happened, and so nobody sees you as you kind of sidle away. You know what? No, I'm gonna retcon this for you a little bit. I will let you disguise yourself as a large snake. You're not supposed to disguise yourself out without having limbs because you have them. You got to keep kind of your normal shape. But in my mind, this is what Trapper does. Trapper
just
gets
a
on the
giant
ground.
snake with human arms.
Trapper
against his back.
gets on the ground and physically worm slithers himself away as a giant, scary snake. And
So
on the
into
way
it.
out, comfortably, easily hears the shopkeepers to the sides of it gossiping and being like, that bottle shop always got weird problems coming out of it.
I was wondering when we were going to have our first actual shit show.
Yeah. And so
Leave it to Trapper. Playing Trapper is starting to like Ernest Goes to Fantasyland.
So Trapper, you have stepped away, you have slithered away from that interaction. Are you going to go to other shops, or are you just going to head back to the tavern?
I'm meeting up back at the tavern. I'm trying to lay low.
All right. So
I might stay in snake form until I get to the booth.
yeah, right. So back at the tavern, Star, Skataki, and then Snake Trapper all kind of work their way in. They see Barry and Croft sitting at a table with a gentleman, a nicely dressed human gentleman with well-cropped
Barry,
hair.
remind me to tell you about the acorns, dude.
So, what's going on here? Who's this guy?
Yeah, and he looks around and he sees. Now, I assume Trapper has morphed back into his normal, or revealed back into his normal coyote form.
You were closer the first time. I slither up. Coyote man. Just very slowly.
Just slowly.
Very-
Well,
Like a black and white
That's
video.
quite an entrance. Why the hell were you a snake?
It's a long story, man. Let me tell you about them acorns.
God damn it. He looks and he's like, he looks at the new people, including the transmorphing snake man, snake coyote man.
Who's this dude?
And Jerome's like,
And then,
oh, go on, Barry.
without skipping a beat, I'm like, another round of beer for my buddy over here.
Hey. Appreciate it, Barry.
And he looks and he's
Good
like,
looking at.
Jerome looks and he's like, my name is Jerome. I am a representative of some people, and I was talking to your fine friends Barry and Kraft here, and we were discussing about some opportunities for you to help some kind folk out.
You get like kind?
Go on.
And then he details out the farm, the Cobbs, the Caspies, and everything. So he relays what he said to Barry. Barry and Krav, roll a perception check.
Does he mention the investor?
Yeah, he doesn't mention the investor, and by name.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna be like
22.
if it was that. Is that hammer dick dude?
No. He mentions Hammer Good as the person that's putting the pushiness on the Caspi farm, and that the Cobbs are trying to help against, and that the Cobbs are actually the ones that are trying to
Out
get
of
this
character,
done.
just to clarify, is everyone here but Patience? Okay.
All right, and
I haven't got there yet.
Yeah, I'm in. Fuck that dude.
Yeah,
I don't like that. Did you say they're farming kind up there?
What? They're farming corn.
Oh.
confirm it.
Yeah, I mean, guess that works too.
Crab, you rolled a 22 on perception?
Yeah.
And I rolled a 20.
And you rolled a 20? You both notice that he told the same beats to them, the story gently changed, including the name of, because it was Jim and Janice Cobb, I believe, when he first said it. And now it was Jim and Jane Cobb the second time he said it. Both of you, since you beat a DC 20, just noticed the most subtle change in the story, because you're the only ones that heard it first.
So I look over knowingly at Krav.
Yeah, I'm gonna share the same look. What was the second name was Jane? The first name was Janice?
Yeah, first time he said Janice as Jim's wife. Second time he said Jane.
Janice, though, right?
I have a feeling you're not being entirely straight with us, friend. I think it's best you actually tell us exactly who you're working for. Get me?
I got some solid insight. I should probably roll, huh?
Yeah, so everyone at the table has insight, including Skataki.
Nat 1, which is at least it's 7 after. But I think Nat 1's just always 1, yeah.
You just do not. You're like, this guy seems right. Fuck that good. Fuck that hammer good motherfucker. This guy.
Yeah, dude. I'm blind rage.
You got a 21?
I got a 20 modified.
20 modified.
I got a 10 only, so.
Krav and.
But I was staring daggers at this dude.
Krav and Star.
4.
Selene, what did you get for insight?
Oh, I apologize. Oh, Jesus. It's 4 plus 3, so I got a 7.
Okay, so fortunately, Skataki is there.
Wait, no.
Who got the modified 20, right? You did, Greg. Right?
Yeah,
That was Kentucky.
Yeah, and so fortunately, Skataki is there, because the rest of you when he starts talking.
You were like, oh, yeah, okay.
And he's like, Jim, and he's like, oh, yeah, Jim and Jan, I'm sorry, Jim and Janice Cobb. I'm just a hireling from them. I don't know. Skataki, you know Jim and Janice Cobb. Jim and Janice Cobb cannot hire 300 gold pieces, 200, 100, fucking 10 gold pieces worth of thugs to deal with this problem. They could not even remotely afford that.
Is that like that old lady trying to give him 5 coppers?
No, different farmers. Different farmers.
He does a lot of gigs for farmers.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I mean, Skataki has endeared his loincloth public being self to the community by being super useful in the area. And
Skataki's a good old boy.
And so you know 100% that no matter what, the premise of this stinks.
So I'm gonna roll with I'm gonna roll with an intimidation and go. It's weird that you say that Jim and Jane hired you because they hired me, and just lean right down in on the guy.
Roll with advantage since you managed to catch the insight and because you're a big scary bugbear.
Trapper goes, woohoo, shit.
Oh, I need that advantage too. 17.
Okay, he rolls a 1. Okay. So he fucking looks, and he didn't clock originally who you were. He is from the area and everything, and he didn't clock, and he's like, motherfucker, and everything, and he attempts.
Trapper's at full attention.
He doesn't say anything. I need. I'm gonna say, because it was Trapper that intimidated him and is leaning in on him. Trapper, we're gonna roll an opposed dexterity check.
You mean Skataki?
Or sorry, Skataki.
He's also sitting right next to me too.
Yeah, and he's sitting next to Barry. So Barry, also dexterity check.
Okay. What'd you get?
17.
I only got a 5.
Okay, So Barry doesn't catch this, but dude just tries to slide under Skitaki's armpit and out away from the table, and obviously with a 17, with Skitaki rolling a 17, he does not succeed. So he tries to get away physically.
I feel like I should point out there is a lot of leg.
Yeah,
Some
right.
lanky fellers.
So Skitaki, you catch him up.
A lot of furry legs, specifically.
He's wiry under there.
Super nice.
You catch him up. You
Little
catch him
thicket.
up trying to run him. Do you rough him up a little bit? Do you just hold him? What do you do?
So I'm a little backwards at this point. He's a dwarf? No, that was the last guy.
No, he's a human.
He's a 6 foot
He's
tall,
a human?
medium build.
He's a fancy dressed human.
I'm still, I've got a 17 strength. I'm still going to rein him up off the ground.
Yep. And he...
No, or I'm just going to tug at him gently.
So you grab him.
Maybe just sit him back down. Just put him in the seat and be like, "You're not going anywhere."
There you go. There you go. So you grab him. You lock him in place. He sits back down, and everything like that. And he's like, "All right."
I'm gonna stand up and just kind of gesture to the crowd that we got it under control.
I take the beer that I had bought for him, and I take it and I down the whole thing.
Eddie, I love it.
Hell
Barry.
yeah, Barry.
Just being like, "Fuck you."
Fuck yeah, dude.
Barry giveth and Barry taketh away.
Jerome just looks down.
I chugged mine too.
Jerome,
I kind of calmly ask if I'm getting one too.
I already bought a round for everyone else
there's
here.
already one
Okay, we got a full round. I missed the full round. I'm still nursing that then. I'm good. Sorry.
And he looks and he's like, fucking, and he drops his accent. He's like, fucking Fredrickson, god damn it.
Who's
So,
Fredrickson?
Hammer
Goodhammer.
Dwarf.
Hammer good. He
That's Kataki peed on.
He hired, he sent me, I'm just a numbers guy, and he sent me and he's like, you have the right look, in his stupid fucking voice, and he's like, you have the right look.
Does he
to do
have
this.
fucking... I hate that voice.
And
I'm gonna.
and
Wait,
he's-
let him talk.
And he goes,
please.
He goes, okay, so everything I said was backwards. The Caspi farm has hired people to protect the farm from Hammergood's existing muscle. So he heard about what was happening, and he decided to hire some heavier than their muscle in the form of you. And he knew that you wouldn't go for it based off of peeing. He was so mad when he walked in to the offices. And so he just pulled me in, and he's like, Jerome, today's your day to shine in this organization, and it's not even in my job description. Don't hurt me. I can't lose my job. I don't have a lot of skills that work here out in this much more dangerous area than where I'm from.
Dude, what are you into, Jerome? You looking to get some adventuring shit done?
Some what?
What kind of skills you got, buddy? Sounds like shit working for that dude. I hate that guy.
I'm an accountant. It doesn't apply to most things out here.
But that means
does it apply to like people
numbers
finding
and distance.
treasure and gold and shit?
Hold on, I want to hear what Skitaki was gonna do.
Sorry, Josh. I was talking at the same time you were. Go ahead.
Go for it.
All right. But it's like, so you're an accountant. That means you're good with numbers. So numbers and disposition, or we feed you to the bearded dragon.
So what? Numbers at this position?
Numbers and military crap. Troop numbers and disposition of who he's hired.
Oh.
Or we feed you to the bearded dragon.
Let me see if he rolls.
I'm gonna lean in, my Fu Manchu. You know,
Still some raw meat hanging from one of your teeth.
hanging. Get some raw meat stuck in my Fu Manchu.
He looks at you and he's like, okay. He has a group of 10. They're a small mercenary organization. Their name is like the Sunny Boys or something dumb like that, the Sunshine Kids or something, and it's
That actually sounds kind of
it's a
dope.
real cute name. They're all fucking the worst. They don't wash. They most of them can't read. It's like I don't know why you hired them. You know, you get what you pay for, but they are ruthless, and we hate having any of them represent the office. And they're pretty armed to the teeth. They're pretty tough guys. And they haven't done anything yet to the Caspies, but I feel like it's about to escalate. And he's just like, he can't look at any of you. He definitely can't look at Krob. He's just looking down in his table, just fucking afraid.
So, Barry is normally a jolly character, but right now he's fuming because of this guy, Fredrickson, not only tried to buy him with money and against what what his values are, but then he also tried to take me for a fool.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm pissed.
This is personal.
So, where's your boss?
Hammergood?
Where is he right now?
Hammergood?
Hammergood. I want to know where he is.
He's probably...
This Barry's pulling the Karen card. I want to talk to the manager.
There ain't gonna be no talking. There ain't gonna be any talking.
Jerome's like...
Barry morphs into Baron.
He's
Yeah, I don't know what Barry's doing, but I like the look in his eye.
Jerome looks and he's like, he kind of looks toward your like lap because he can't meet your eyes, and he's like, he's either at the offices or
I grab his face and I look and I bring his head up and I make him look me right in the eyes.
He literally shits himself. He grabs himself right there and he just starts blubbering. And he's like,
Do I smell
the
it?
office or the manse? Yes, everyone smells it at the table.
Okay.
Like how he just rolled.
Jerome only eats things with turmeric, so it's got a strong turmeric smell.
I rolled a 15 natural, by the way.
Yeah, you smell
Just for the
real
record.
good. You smell real good, Trapper.
Okay.
You can tell there's turmeric in there.
Star also smells it, but doesn't have to roll to smell it because everyone can smell it. The turmeric, though, is a gift for Trapper.
So, based on what he tells me, do I actually know now where those places are in town?
You don't, but Skataki would. And Skataki would. And you could easily find out the offices, or you could just ask. Yeah, we'll say that if you don't know, if you want to, you ask. And he's like on the northwest of town. There's his offices, and
Kentucky just. Sorry.
Yeah. So
Kentucky just quietly points.
Yeah. Skataki knows where it is.
What do y'all say we go pay our good friend Mr. Goodhammer a visit?
Do we have time for me to eat?
Let's finish our drinks. Jerome, you said your name is? You probably better skip town for a few days.
It's probably a good idea, Jerome.
He
Also, watch it with that ableist shit about people who can't read and everything.
I don't know what ableism is, and then he gets up. He gets up. You all can see that his nice pants are stained with brown, and then he walks out with that waddle walk, trying not to have it slip out of his pants.
I follow. I go outside. I put my coin down on the table for the food, and I follow him outside to make sure I don't see him head off in the direction.
Direction Skataki. No, he notices that you follow him outside, and he heads in the opposite fucking direction of any place that you guys are heading.
I call a waiter over real quick and say, I'm in a bit of a hurry, but y'all got turmeric?
Turmeric? The waiter looks at him and is like, maybe? We're a barbecue joint mostly, but I can look.
All right, never mind. I'm sorry.
How's the pit beef here?
It's the best. It's the best in water as well. It's the best in Odai, probably, but it's definitely the best in 400 miles.
Yeah, I don't know why I just got a hankering for turmeric.
So that is discovered. We're gonna cut back to Patience. Patience. This is good. Before I leave the tavern, not necessarily in character, but just generally as players, are you all agreed that y'all are gonna go have a after you get food and drink, have a conversation with Goodhammer?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
But I am going to finish my bowl of meat.
Yeah. Finish your food and everything.
Does that count as a short rest?
Yeah, it's a short rest. So if you have healing that you need to do, we'll solve that before the next session. You don't need to roll your hit die or anything like that right now. All of you should be able to heal back to full, honestly, with a normal hit die short rest. None of you took that much damage, except for maybe Krav.
I might want to get a long rest in simply because I'm out of rages and I want to be able to rage on Fredrickson.
Yeah. So we get over to Patience. We get over to Patience. And Patience, you're at the university. You're at the university, and you're with your parents. They're sipping tea, reading books, like they're always doing at this time in the evening. It is now dinner time. They have various bread products. Both of your parents are vegetarians. And so sometimes pescatarians, when like the food's really good, but they feel bad about it. And they look at you and they're like, "So, how did the carnival go?"
Well, it certainly is difficult to convince people when you're competing with cotton candy and strongmen. But I managed to get a few donations for the college.
Do you give them your money that you earned?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I will take that off your character sheet. You give them your money you earned and everything, and they're like, "Well, it's not students and broadening the mind of education, but I appreciate that you made a difference today, Patience, even if you did get up a little bit late. Anything interesting happened today? You have any fun with it? You get to go walk about?"
Oh, that horrible Mr. Goodhammer cornered me. Still wants us to... Well, he offered to make things a little easier for us if I helped him find some neighborhood toughs. You know how Skataki is and the kind of crowd he runs with.
Oh, I don't understand why you hang out with that boy. Like, he's a nice guy and he has his purposes, but he looks over at your mother and then looks back and he's like, Goodhammer hassle you? What did he offered? He offered for you to find him some toughs. Why would you find him some toughs?
He did just because I was hanging out with the biggest, baddest bugbear in town. Oh,
okay. Roll deception. You're not quite lying, but you're not being honest. And you've established the character is bad. What did you roll?
I haven't rolled yet. My deception, actually, the problem is that Camille is a bad liar. Patience's deception is +4.
That's fine.
6-20.
She's really cute when she lies.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that makes sense. Skataki, of course. He looks back down to his book for a bit and everything, and it's like, what did he say what he needed the thugs for?
They're trying to put pressure on the Cosby farm.
Casby.
Sorry, friends.
Well, they should put pressure on that farm. That man is a monster. Everyone just gives him a pass because he's supposed to be Waterswell's dad, but he is a monster. I lost people. Oh no.
Hey, Mommy, no.
I still see everyone on my side.
I'm coming.
I can't hear Steve. Okay, now I can hear Steve.
There we go.
Yes.
Hey, we're back.
Yeah, I'm
Welcome.
sorry about that. I will direct plug in next session. It wasn't a problem the first two, but nonetheless, so he's like, he goes, so he's like, oh, the Caspi farm. Yeah, I could see where that would be a good location for the casino he's looking. So you said he was gonna make things easier on us if you offered him, or if you helped him out. How so?
He would, what was it exactly? God, was it that he was
lower the rent?
Forgive the land, yeah.
No, just fully give you guys the land that he owns, that your properties of the school are on.
He would give us the remaining land of ours that he owns.
And he looked down and he looks up again and he's like, well, what did you tell him?
I said I had to talk with you about it.
Well, your mother and I will talk about it. And then that's it. He does not further, he goes back to reading. You can pursue him on it, but that's it. He doesn't give you a sign of how he feels about that.
I mean, you wouldn't want to push someone else off their land, right?
He looks at you and he's like, the Caspies are a fairly well-off family. They're not, I'm sure that they can buy up some other property and start their farm somewhere else. We don't have the funds to pursue this. If the secondary school gets taken or partially demolished from us. And I know that you've been trying to help and you've been doing a great job, but I am afraid your mother and I have been a little quieter to you about the direness of our situation. We are stuck between legal piracy of Mr. Hammergood and reduction in interest in secondary education. So I don't want to do it, but your mother and I will talk, and we need to make a decision that's best for all of us. How do you feel about this, Patience? Your parents haven't historically been this way. This is new for them.
I think that she doesn't like seeing her parents like this. It's very sad for her.
Yeah.
Normally they seem kind of buoyed by the love of learning and protecting the college and that things will be okay, but this is kind of the things are not okay sort of moment.
Yeah, and so he just wrings his hands behind his hair, and then him and your mother just go back to reading. They don't end the conversation properly. They just stop looking at you and go back to their books, which is common.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna go back into town and get something to eat that's not fair food.
All right. So you knew where Skataki was sending people. Do you go back to the tavern?
Yeah.
As you are walking back to the tavern, you see a gentleman that clearly has shit in his pants, running away, and it's just Barry standing outside, hella mean mugging in the shit pants gentleman's direction. Gentleman's direction, and so I assume you probably go up to Barry. I would assume it's a safe GM assumption and everything. So you go up to Barry.
Was that guy a rogue pants shitter, or did y'all?
I'm just gonna say there's a lot to catch up on, so I'm just gonna pan swipe it and say I fill her in. I fill her in on what just happened.
So that is where we are going to pause. You are all back together at the tavern at Lyra's, and you now all know that Hammergood's been playing some real hardball. Patience, do you share with them, or at least with Barry, what's going on with your side of things?
Yes, but I would like to role play it rather than just say I filled. I have because I need to think how Patience would say it.
By the way,
and what you asked for.
Please talk me out of my course of action with Barry, because if he is out for blood right now.
And yeah, we need to figure out what we're gonna do.
Yeah. So we'll role play the conversation after you get filled in from the piece that you didn't get to participate in, but everyone else did, and then you can present your conversation side, and everything. We'll start from there next week on Tuesday. But it is now almost 10 o'clock Pacific time. The posse of players here have managed to get money, fuck things up. Trapper screwed up a bobble shop, didn't even tweet it.
I'm still wondering what the repercussions for that are going to be.
There will be. There might be. It depends on how I roll. There will be potentially.
It's an 8-foot tall coyote.
Yeah. There'll be something that happens because of it. Presumably. No fine crossbow for Star yet, but gold. But
I'm grumpy.
Life goals. You now know how much it costs and where you can get it. Skitaki is a little bit concerned with Patience's slightly greedier behavior, but more importantly knows that people are trying to pull wool on his eyes and Hammergood's getting kind of out of control with how he's behaving. And Patience's family is in trouble. Barry's been offended. Krav has a mouthful of raw meat and is ready to just fuck shit up. Krav's like, this guy's a fucker. Before we go, as not part of the role play, but as the last thing I want to do this session before I sign us off, Krav, can you roll like a perception or an insight roll for me? I meant to have you do that right before we exited it out.
Perception is higher, so that is a 19.
A 19. All right, we will pick up with what that means as well next week.
Fantastic.
I would like to thank my players for once again joining us in Litet, the continent of Litet in the Old West, and grifting things. Also for centaur porn, peeing on a guy, and generally just being Dungeons and Dragonsy. And I'd like to thank everybody watching. This is Through the Mill with Dying of Exposure, every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, live on our Twitch stream, as well as on the YouTube by Fridays. Those get uploaded there, so you can catch up on old episodes. The first episode expires on Twitch tomorrow, which is why I started putting them on YouTube. So thank you very much. Have a good day, and we'll see you all next week.